and you lying. The man is trying while you lying. You can't even be honest, but you expect him to put you first. And I was like, okay, technically he did put you first. But hey, y'all. Welcome back to another review of Life of Chessie for General Hospital, October 9th, 2025. First things first, let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. First, we're going to do a quick summary, and then we're going to dive into the review. Okay, so I was saying, well, Nina told Willow that she was as much of a suspect as her, and now her alibi just crumbled. They got video footage. And first of all, about this video footage, because how long you done had this? Tell myself, I want you to take a look at something. How long you had this? You've been zooming in on Michael and Carly, but you got video evidence to show this girl alibi been crumbled. Her alibi crumbled, or whatever. Hold on. And once again, not to mention the doggone fingerprints on the doggone bed. But yeah, Nina told Willow that she is as much of a suspect as her, and now her alibi just crumbled. They have video footage of Nina at her place at the time of Drew's shooting, so we could cross her off the list. We could cross her off the list. She didn't do it. She did not do it unless she hired somebody. But yeah, she didn't do it, y'all. She was cleared. She basically was cleared or whatever. Let's see. Michael ends up talking to Willow. He was like, he wanted her to see the kids for an hour with a therapist, and she felt some type of way about it. And she made a comment. What did she say? She was like, it must be nice to have all that power. You know how people say stuff in a way that lets you know that they feel some type of way or whatever? That's what she did. She's like, must be nice. I wish I had that type of power. And I said, look at you, what you done did. I said, it gotta be her. It gotta be her. But I don't know, y'all. They haven't showed it yet. They have not shown it yet. But yeah, she was like, must be nice to have that type of power. And I said, I don't know. What do you mean by that? I said, Michael. I feel like he framing her, but we'll see. What else? Let's see. Like I said, he wanted her to see the kids with a therapist, and she wasn't happy about it. She felt some type of way. Spinelli ends up confronting Brick because he knew she was hiding something because, well, she's a liar. Carly was mad because Brandon didn't tell her about Vaughn being the agent. Waiting until she finds out that Josh actually is an agent as well. Brandon ended up telling Jason that if he says anything to Carly, Brick going to jail. And Brick was mad once again because she wanted Jason to choose her. And technically he did. I said, you over here, he trying to get you to be honest. And he was like, one thing about Carly, she would have been told him what's going on, but she want to keep secrets and stuff. She said she had nothing to do with the whole Nathan situation. Does that mean that she also didn't know he was alive? Because when she went in that doggone room, the look on her face showed she knew something. It showed she knew something. And not only that, they did have a scene on today's episode where she kind of confused me because I've been saying she knew something about him or something like that. But when she went in there today, she told me something, we need some time alone and stuff like that. And I was like, wait, so you didn't see him? I said, so what's going on now? Did they tell her that he was alive and she didn't believe it? Look, because to me, I feel like she knew something at least. She knew something at least because the way she acted, I don't know, y'all. But she told Jason how she had nothing to do with it because she was telling him about what Spinelli said. I think that was it for the summary. So we're finna dive into it. So we're gonna start with Anna and Dante. So they over here investigating. I still don't understand how he able to help and stuff because he close to the case just like Chase is. They both, y'all ain't got no more detectives. I mean, now y'all got Nathan if y'all hiring him back. I was like, I don't think he's supposed to be helping you work on this. Now you trying to get him to snitch. I said, you do your job, girl. I mean, this is his job because he a detective. But still, I was like, I said, look, all roads pointing to Michael. All roads pointing to Michael, y'all. But yeah, she wanted Dante help. They was just talking about who could have had access and talking about the main two they was focused on was Carly and Michael. They was focused on Carly and Michael. Hold on. But yeah, they was focused on Carly and Michael. She was asking his opinion. He was saying how he don't think that Michael did it. However, all the evidence looking bad. It's all pointing to him. And I said the same thing, but I don't think he going down for this. But I could be wrong. What else did they talk about? They was talking about the Warren and everything that happened and how Monica has a sister. I think the last thing, she was like, come take a look at this. And she showed him the video footage of Nina at her apartment. And Willow was nowhere to be found. I said, I said, can you lie? I mean, not lie, because they obviously lied. Can you get away with a lie? You can't be charged for lying, can you? In this situation, can you be charged with lying? Because she lied to cover for her or whatever. Now, it done crumble. They said somebody alibi crumble. I thought they was going to say Carly because they kept talking about her. But no, it was Willow. That's why they end up going to search the place, and they going to be telling Elizabeth to come down. Oh, Dante also told Anna that Michael suspects that that Willow was the one, targeting Daisy. She was like, "How come I'm the first to hear about this, or this the first time I'm hearing about this?" And he was like, because Michael didn't have any proof or anything like that. I hope that if it was Willow, Michael got video evidence. I hope he do, cause the way she been talking lately, I was like, she knows something. She gotta know something. I don't know, y'all. But I'm hoping that if she actually did it, that he seen her do it, or he seen her leaving up out of there or something. But yeah, once they actually find out about Kyle's fingerprints, I want to know what Drew's gonna say about it. I want to know what Drew's gonna say about it. And there was something else that happened. What was it? I don't know if it was on the preview for tomorrow's episode. It was something about Curtis and them, I think. It was something I want to talk about, but I can't remember, y'all. It was something about Curtis, I think. But also let's see. I think we pretty much covered Anna, Dante. Next we got Michael and Willow. So they was talking. Willow ends up asking Michael what he doing there. He was like, he there to see her. He want to talk. He feels like she should see the kids. Before they got to that, she over here talking about some, I'm sorry about Monica. I said, we don't trust you, man. You could say that. Sorry, girl. We don't trust you. Now the old you, yeah. But this you, we don't know what you talking about, girl. You ain't sorry. To myself, I want to reach out, but things so bad and all this other stuff. She would say little slick stuff. But yeah, she was like, I'm sorry to hear about Monica, whatever. I know the kids going through it, the kids this, the kids that, or whatever. I mean, I understand because they is her kids, so. And of course, she missed her kids, so I understand that part. It was simple. You made it complicated. He told you to turn this man loose, and you could see the kids, and what did you do? And then, even on today's episode, he telling you could see the kids as long as Drew don't see the kids or whatever. She over there, like, she thinking about it. Girl, if you don't think, I said it was simple. Yeah, okay, I'll do it or whatever. She seemed like she had doubts. She went to talk about all the power he has, and it must be nice to have that power. I said, she set you up. I said, she went and put that doggone weapon. That's why she was tiptoeing around, but now I don't know. But yeah, they was just talking about that. And I was like, we don't trust you. And I was like, when Michael was talking to her and stuff like that, he be making it, I don't know if it's just because the actor or what. I said, he be looking like he lying or he up to something. I was like, look, he looking very suspicious. He looking very suspicious. I said, I can't tell if he lying or he up to something or both. Or both. But yeah, what else happened with them? Let me see. Let me make sure I cover everything. We going one by one. Let's see if Michael ends up telling Willow that he want her to see the kids. And she was like, what? That's all I wanted. And then she started crying and getting emotional. I said, say your tears, sweetheart. There's a catch. There's a catch. Then before he left, he looked at her. He looked back at her. I said, he's sitting up. But yeah, what else happened? He ends up saying that the visit will be supervised by a therapist, and she felt some type of way about it. She felt like she shouldn't have to be monitored to see her kids. Basically, that implies that he don't trust you. What he been saying? What you mean? It seemed like he don't trust you. He been telling you he don't trust you. What the word going on? I was like, girl, is you cool? I said, she been losing it. She definitely been losing it. I was like, you talking about some, it's like you don't trust me. Some type of way she said it. And I was like, of course he don't trust you. What he been saying this entire time? You think he keeping the kids away from you out of spite? He don't trust you. I want to know when he's going to tell her he knows that she's the one that took Daisy. That's what I want to know. And I hate that Sasha had to leave town before they all confronted this girl. Running around taking people's babies and changing their clothes and stuff. And they just let her get away with it like it ain't nothing. I'm hoping it all come back full circle. But we'll see. I said if she end up getting arrested, Drew finna have a fit. He finna go after everybody. He finna go after everybody. I think that was it. I think it was something about Drew and Curtis. I don't know, y'all. But yeah, what else happened with Michael? Let's see. Willow ends up saying, like, she don't know about this because, she's worried that the therapist would get on stand and sabotage her or whatever. I said, you sabotaging yourself, because if they told you to correct your choices and you still doing the same stupid stuff, you the only one to blame. You the only, if you got in trouble or you lost your kids partially because of the decision you made listening to Drew when she got on stand. Remember that episode? Well, of course y'all remember the episode where she was like, well, Drew said that, well, me and Drew or whatever, and you gonna go get back with him? Is you, Willow, make it make sense. I said, make it make sense, girl. But yeah, what else? Yeah, she was worried that the therapist will be on his payroll or Sonny or Carly payroll, and she gonna get up there and lie and sabotage her. She ain't gotta lie. Look at you. Everybody know what you doing. Ain't no need for no lying. She ends up telling Michael it must be nice. The way she said it, she was like, "Must be nice having all the power. I wish I had some power." You talking about the wrong thing. The man trying to let you see your kids allegedly. He probably just trying to make nice so she won't suspect nothing. But all she gotta do is go tell Drew, and Drew gonna be like, "He's up to something. You can't trust him. He's up to something." I said, I don't know. He always look like he up to something. I said, I don't know if he actually want her to see the kids or if he's setting her up to let her guard down. Either way it go, she was sneaking around for some reason. The baby was gone, so what need did she have to be in there? What need did she have to be in there, especially with the kids being there, unless Amelia was still there? Was Amelia there, or was she in camp or school or whatever they said? But yeah, I was like, what reason would she have to be there? Especially when they just got into it with her. But yeah, what else? Let's see. Hopefully tomorrow's episode they do a flashback, because we've been waiting long enough. How many months it's been now since this man done been shot? I don't know. Has it been 1 or 2? I don't know. But yeah, let's see. Was it something else with the whole? I know I already said Willow told Michael it must be nice having all the power. Was that the last thing? She eventually agrees to his terms or whatever, and that's when he was like, I think he said he'd be in contact or something like that, but before he left out, he ends up looking back at her. So I was like, he did something. Him or his mama, because his mama was making the same face as well. So I was like, both of y'all going to jail. I was like, Carly and Michael going to jail. I don't know. But yeah, next we got Britt, Nathan Spinelli. Britt was telling Nathan, well, first of all, Nathan was being discharged, and Britt was saying how she wants to talk to him and stuff like that. He was saying how he wants to reclaim his life. That's when Spinelli came, and he wanted to talk about James, but Britt was saying, what are you doing or whatever, and she told him now it's not the time, so he ended up leaving, but he didn't leave. He ends up talking to her, and he was questioning her because, well, she's a liar. Like I said in the opening, he was questioning her because she be lying. She just be lying for no reason. Jason trying to help you, and you over here giving him a hard time. I said, Jason, that's what you get, because you always got to be Captain Sable. You know what? You always got to be a superhero. I always got to wear that S on your chest and that cape on your back, because what the world going on? Every time we see him, he got to run and save somebody. I said, wash my hands of all these folks. It ain't none of your concern. Ain't none of your concern. Over here making threats and stuff, Brennan. Over here making threats. What the world? He ain't got nothing to do with none of that. You could just be honest, duh. Secrets always come out. But yeah, over here threatening somebody. I said, well, Britt gotta go. Well, Britt just gonna have to go. I said, Carly finna be mad at everybody at this point. Look at how she reacted over the Vaughn situation. But yeah, who was we talking about? Spinelli? Spinelli was questioning her, asking. He was like, he believed Nathan when he says that he don't know anything or remember anything. But you another story, because you just popped up out of nowhere and you've been real secretive. And she started talking about Jason this, and it was his fault, and I had another life in, where was they at again? Wherever at a spa or something, she said. And she was like, it's Jason's fault and stuff like that. So she ends up contacting Jason. She ends up meeting up with Jason, and he was like, he got here as soon as he could. I don't think he said that, but he was telling her he came, and she was shocked that he came. And she made some comment about getting the Carly treatment. And he was like, he don't know what that means. I'm assuming that he dropped everything to come. That's what I assume. I said, he's like, I don't know what that means. You should. I'm assuming it means that you drop everything anytime Carly called, what you do. You, Carly or Sonny or one of her kids, one of their kids or whatever, you drop everything. You drop everything. But I take that back, because he be showing up for everybody. He be showing up for everybody he care about. He definitely do. I can't take that away from him. I give it back. I take it back. But yeah, what else did he say? He ends up telling her, well, first of all, Brie talks to Jason about Spinelli. She ends up saying she had nothing to do with the whole Nathan situation. And he was like, and she said something about she wouldn't want to hurt James. And that's when he was like, I believe that much. And she was like, and the rest, she was like, well, he was like, well, you won't tell me anything. How am I supposed to help you if you won't say anything? You keep your secrets and stuff like that. And she said something about Carly, and he was like, the difference between you and Carly is Carly would have been told. So she tried to flip the script on him and stuff like that. She felt some type of way, because he said something. And she was like, she basically wanted him to put her first. And I said, you don't know. I hope he tell her that Brandon threatened him and said if he tell Carly anything, that she going to jail, and he has yet to tell Carly anything. I was like, look, at this point, Carly, use your brain. You know half the truth, but you don't know the whole truth. You don't know the whole truth, girl. You said that Jason was hiding something. You said Jason knew something, something changed when he went over there and stuff like that. But she don't know that Vaughn was there either. She don't know Vaughn was there, but I'm assuming she gonna put 2 and 2 together eventually. Somebody gonna have to tell this girl. Somebody gonna have to tell her. But yeah, she, based on her reaction today, she finna be highly upset. But yeah, I think the last scene with Jason and Britt was she was mad because she wanted him to put her first. That leads me back to Brandon Is that next? No, we're gonna go to Josh and Carly. Josh and Carly. So after she don't sit up here and put on the waterworks crying and stuff for no reason, she told me some what she said, let me find it. Oh, lying tell. I was like, you might as well you told half the truth, might as well told the whole truth at this point. Can she get in trouble for telling? I know he said Anna could. She could too as well, couldn't she? But yeah, it's like, because you putting Jason in a horrible situation. Not a horrible situation, but a bad situation. Ain't that the same thing? I don't know which worse. But yeah, where is it? Did I even write it down? Um, Josh ended up saying how Von been conning her the entire time. Meanwhile, you conning your mama. He been she just crying and stuff. He been conning me the entire time. He was an agent, not FBI, a WSB agent and stuff like that. She was like, how did you find this out and stuff like that? She told my son, she wanted to invite Jack over to dinner with them as a surprise. And that's when she ran into him in a full suit and all this other stuff, and she put two and two together, and he ended up telling her everything. And I said, they said if you tell one lie, you gotta tell a bunch of lies to cover that lie, and she definitely did that. And at first I was like, okay, does Brennan know that she over here telling about Vaughn being an agent? He obviously didn't know. He obviously did not know. He didn't know. Because I was like, I think she told Vaughn that Brennan told her to distract her mama while he talks to Jason or whatever. So I'm assuming he did not know. But he don't sit up here look like they good still. I said, oh, you a slick one. I said, you a slipper. I about to say a slippery one. You a slick one. You almost got caught. But yeah, I said, you smooth with it. I said, you smooth with it though. But yeah, she was like, Jack knew, Brennan knew or whatever, and she was like, she was mad because she felt like he put her in danger. I said, you think that put her in danger? These folks almost got blew up. They almost got blew up. Then he gonna lie and say, I would never put her in harm's way. I was right there you lying. You just lied, just like this. They say these agents be lying, and they definitely be lying. How you gonna tell her that you would never put her in harm's way and she just almost got blew up? And not only that, you was nowhere to be found. You over here trying to watch her like a hoe and be around Carly and stuff. The girl, the double agent lady, what was her name? Colette. She told you not to send the girl. Then when you send the girl, she kept telling you to bring her back. But you thought you were so desperate to do your job, and I'm assuming you ain't really doing that well either. But yeah, then you wouldn't pull her back until you found out what was going on. Then you over here on the phone kind of trying to call people. You so desperate, you end up calling what's his name? Valentine. You end up calling Valentine or whatever. What the world? And you gonna lie and say you would never put her in harm's way. That's gonna make it worse. You lied about Vaughn. You lied about Josh. And you keep lying. You finna get caught like it ain't nothing. Some way, somehow, somebody gonna slip up or something like that. Carly gonna walk in and overhear something, but she gonna be mad at Jason. She gonna be mad at Jason, Brandon, Josh. She just gonna be mad. I feel like Britt and her gonna get into it and she gonna let it slip some type of way. But then again, if Jason tell her that he threatened to send her away, if anybody say anything, or if Jason says anything, maybe she'll keep her mouth closed. But they ain't never stopped her before. But yeah, so she called Brandon. Well, he said, "Hey, beautiful," or something. She was like, "Get to her house now," or something. They need to talk. As soon as she told him, the look on his face, he was scared. So when he got there, he seen Jocelyn. He was scared. She told. Told or whatever. So they was like, they need to talk in private. So they do. She ends up confronting him about Vaughn. And he was like, you knew beforehand that I couldn't tell you certain thing or whatever. Well, first of all, let me see. Carly ended up asking Brendan how he couldn't tell her that Vaughn was a WSB agent. He was like, you knew beforehand that certain things that I couldn't say about my job and stuff like that. You signed up for that. You agreed that we had to keep it separate. She was like, she know, but maybe she can't handle it. But they end up hugging. I was like, well, at first I was like, you out of there now, buddy. I said, I wanted her to find out about Josh, but this is the next best thing. No, they over here hugging and stuff. I was like, Carly. I said, come on, Carly. You done been played enough now. You done been played and conned enough now. You should have that experience. Son should be telling you something's off. Something's off, girl. Put it together. But yeah, I think that was the end of the scene. They was hugging and stuff. I said, dog, you slick thing, you. I said, you don't got I said, you don't got it. I said, Carly, you almost had the truth. Well, not almost, because he wasn't going to tell you did the free squad. And apparently Josh ain't either. And then I forgot that Jason don't know everything. So he need to have a discussion with Josh and see if she says anything about Cyrus. And put two and two together. I wonder if he knows about the Cyrus situation. Will he tell the truth then? But yeah, what else? Let's see. We already talked about Jason and Brandon. He basically threatened him. Well, he did threaten him and say if you say anything to Carly that well, first of all, Brandon asked who's more important, Carly or Britt. Is Carly knowing the truth more important than Britt's freedom? And I said you do know that if need be, he'll choose Carly in a heartbeat, right? I said that's your plan, because I've been wondering. He said he know how to handle Jason or whatever. So I was like, if it all boils down to it, he gonna forever choose Carly. Now in this situation, he trying to prove Britt wrong or just show her that he choosing her, and it's her freedom at risk. It's her freedom. But at the same time, we've seen this man not care about his kids. I ain't gonna say that. Well, I can't say that. He has put Carly needs and stuff above his kids. So you think that this woman that he, I ain't gonna say he just met either, because obviously they got something going on. It's not as deep as Jason and Sam, but yeah. Obviously, Britt still carry a torch for him. That's why she get offended every time. Every time it's something about Carla, she feels some type of way. I said, well, you gonna keep feeling some type of way. But yeah, I was like, if need be, he will choose Carly. I said, you just making it worse for yourself. You're just making it worse for yourself. But yeah, he ends up threatening him or whatever. So Jason, he don't say much. Y'all know he don't say much of anything, but he basically agreed and he walked away. But before he walked away, he made sure he knew that he better not hurt nobody that he care about. And I was like, yeah, you gonna have to handle him. One of y'all, somebody gonna have to handle this man. I feel like it still go deeper than just the whole Five Poppies situation. I think you go deeper. And once again, Sewell ain't nowhere to be found. Now, y'all done brought him on the show now. It's about that time to reveal something about him now. But yeah, what else? We already talked about Britt and Spinelli, Carly, Brandon, Von and Josh. She ends up telling him that she told her mama about him being an agent. He wanted to know why. And she ends up revealing it. They end up kissing and saying goodbye, but I'm assuming this ain't forever. This ain't forever. This ain't goodbye forever or whatever. We already talked about Jason and Britt. I think that was the last thing. I think the last thing was that Dante tells Anna about Willow and Daisy, and then Willow alibi had crumbled. Yeah, that was it. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces, have girls today and be safe.